It says we're live.
Yay!
Hey! All right, let's make sure that this is getting shared out. Good evening, everybody. Guys, this is the debut show, right? Debut show, Katie Mares, the SHEconomy Show. I'm Michelle MicLain. I'm CEO of Retention Masters. I'm a brand strategist. And Katie is just such a light and a beautiful human being. And Katie, you are live. So it looks like everything is connected and it works super well. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the premiere of the SHEconomy Show. Super excited for you guys to all be here this evening. Share this on out. Drop some comments. Let us know that you are here and that you can see us live, because as we all know, it never fails, right, Katie, with debut shows. You always have the tech issues, but we're going to roll through it. So for those of you who may not know the incredible Katie Mares, she is a best-selling author. She is a customer experience expert. And this book, if you can see it, Customer Experience, just debuted. So guys, you're going to get a chance tonight to get your own copy of this book. In fact, I think, Katie, you're going to give away an autographed copy. Is that right?
I am. Yeah. I mean, to those who are, hey, Ted, to those who are signing on and making comments and sharing it out, we're going to choose one person randomly and send you an autographed copy of Customer Experience. I'm really excited and super grateful for everybody that's going to be on.
Well, it is so exciting. And, obviously you've been traveling, you've been doing all kinds of things, and you're just such a ray of light. And I apologize if anyone hears my dogs barking in the back. They're not very happy that I put them outside here, but we're going to dive in tonight. We're going to be sharing with you guys 7 tips for creating the ultimate female consumer experience. And as we all know, women play a significant role in the global economy. They actually account for nearly half, and I think that probably more than half, if we're being completely transparent, more than half of the world's population, and they drive the majority of consumer spending. But despite this, so many businesses, Katie, so many are still struggling to meet the needs and the wants of female consumers. And I think that this results in so many missed opportunities for growth and revenue. And so that's why we have started the SHEconomy Show. Tonight, the debut, we're going to be diving into the key factors that women consider when making purchasing decisions, including their priorities and preferences, their pain points. We're going to explore some habits of how women are evolving and what your business can do to better engage and meet the needs of your female consumers. We're also going to look into some of the challenges that women face when purchasing high-ticket items. Myself, Katie, we both have automotive backgrounds. We're very familiar with high-ticket purchases, and we know that that's definitely a pain point, right, Katie? I know.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you tell people, maybe the ones who don't know who you are, a little bit about who Katie Mares is, a little bit about your background, and what led to the writing of this amazing book, Customer Experience.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you. I was telling Michelle before we came on how grateful I am that I have a co-host tonight to get me started. And so I feel like I'm being interviewed on my own show, which is an amazing deal right now, because it's like leveling out that playing field for me. But yeah, in automotive, the whole reason this amazing book came to life is because of a really crappy car buying experience. It took 7 dealerships before I was able to purchase a vehicle or found a dealership that took me seriously. And that sent me down a rabbit hole of research, and being a customer experience expert, I was like, whoa, this is the second largest purchase you're making besides your home, and maybe for those really rich folks out there that are buying boats. But it is the second largest purchase a human being makes. And yet the experience, well, it falls flat. It's kind of stale and mundane. And then you add in the fact that I was a female. And I got anywhere from, do you have enough money? Is your dad coming? Is your husband coming? You name it, I got it. And finally, I went into a store, by the way, that I did not want to buy from. I was looking for a brand. I didn't want a soccer or hockey mom van. I wanted a cool mom van, not van, but like a 3-seater SUV. And so I was looking at all the high-end brands. Well, I ended up at Hyundai. And I saved myself $20,000. I had a massive budget, but I got an experience that was incredible. And I will purchase there over and over and over again. But it took me 7 dealerships in several months before somebody took me seriously. And that's a huge disconnect. Women influence $43 trillion of worldwide spending. And unfortunately, the world's executives, the majority are still men. So the experience is being designed by men for men because men don't understand women. And in an industry like automotive, it's also being delivered by men. So there's a huge, huge disconnect, which got me into researching, writing, developing keynotes, speaking at conferences, and then she was born. And now the SHEconomy, which is an exciting time for, I think, just women and men in general, because what I want to do on this show is A, empower women, but B, empower men and empower each other to understand how we can work together and the word empower each other so that we can have higher profits, so we can have higher revenue, so we can have more referrals, because women actually refer 25 to 30% more than men. So it is really important to make sure you fill that funnel. So I'm really excited about the SHEconomy Show because she does rule the economy. She is the world's economy. And so I'm really excited to be here and to share these 7 tips tonight. So between Michelle and I, we are going to give you 7 tips on how to captivate her and what you need to do from a brand standpoint and from an experience standpoint on how to start influencing her spend and her loyalty and her referrals. So there you go.
I'm so excited to be here with you, and as a brand strategist, this is something that I push over and over and over and over again to the clients that I work with. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter what you're selling. It doesn't matter what your business is. Even if you have a brand that is targeting men, for example, let's look back at the whole thing that happened with Carhartt, right? Carhartt, predominantly a male-dominated brand, but they made a cardinal mistake. They didn't know who their target audience was. And a company like that, especially when you go completely off brand, especially when you're making, posts on social media and stuff like that, who is it that's going to be the one predominantly seeing that stuff? It's the female in your household. And let me tell you guys something. My husband, there are certain brands he's very specific to, but you better believe that if I see something that's going off brand or that it doesn't align with my core values, or it doesn't align with, the way that we think, believe, act, and feel, me as a female, I'm going to go to my husband and go, no, I don't think you should buy that brand anymore. And most of the time, right, Katie, they're going to listen.
So women influence 3 to 4 generations of purchases. So it's not just her immediate family, it's her kids' friends. And I have to share this story. I mean, once upon a time, my kids are older now, but they used to come in with their friends every Friday night. The moms would show up and the kids would come and I'd cook them dinner. They'd, like 12 of them would sit around my big table and I'd serve all of these different foods, and every week was different. Well, I got a phone call recently, actually, about a few months ago, and I had one of the moms shopping in the store with her son, which is one of my kids' friends. And she said, the funniest thing just happened. We were walking down the aisleway and my son said, oh, Mom, can we get this? Katie used to have that on her table. And so she bought it. So you really don't realize just how influential she is. She influences over 86% of all household purchases for her family, for her mom, for her sister, for her brother, for her grandparents, for her children's friends, and all of her friends, because she is the original social media. You talk about branding. She is the original social media who used to, go outside, look over the fence and say hi to her neighbor and gab about everything that she did, the product she's using, and why she likes it and why she'd recommend it. Now she's given this, megaphone called the World Wide Web. And so it is extremely important to know how to captivate her and hold that influence. Because if you lose her, and unfortunately in today's world, it's so easy for them to leave to go to the competitor. Like, you literally hop on Google on your phone in bed and you can see 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 different businesses that does the exact same thing that you do. So the only differentiator is you and your experience and how you make her feel. And so these 7 tips and this show is meant to help you captivate her and create an experience that actually is an emotional shift that sustains her loyalty.
I love it. So why don't we dive on in? Let's give them what they came for. Guys, I highly recommend, you can always go back, catch the replay if you don't have a pen and paper. But if you're anything like me, I tend to absorb way more than when I just listen. I write things down. I always have a notebook. I'm big with books too. You look at every book that I have, some of my dear friends' books. I mean, they're just marked up. I tell all my friends, if you're going to send me one of your books, make sure you send me 2 copies, because if I get anything out of it, it's going to be destroyed. So I'm gonna have to buy a second one of yours too, Katie. But let's dive on into these 7 tips, guys. If you're just joining us, this is the debut show for the SHEconomy Show with Katie Mayers. Her brand new book, Customer Experience, just came out, hit #1. So we're super excited about that. But tonight we are sharing with you 7 tips for creating the ultimate female consumer experience. So let's dive on in, shall we? All right, guys. Tip number one, and I think this goes across the board. You need to prioritize personalized experiences. Guys, listen to me, especially if you are a male and you are running a business like a car dealership. If you're a realtor, it doesn't matter what you're selling. Every single woman wants to feel like she is your only customer, and women will appreciate this 10 times over. This is your differentiator. If a woman is walking into your place of business, again, and because we have an automotive background, this is so incredibly important. They're going to appreciate those experiences that are catering to their unique needs. They're going to appreciate when you're engaging with them. They're going to appreciate you asking, what do you want? What are your preferences? It is so incredibly important in today's age, and especially as we talk about having the World Wide Web and social media and experiences. It takes so many years sometimes to get a consumer, and it takes that long to lose it. If somebody walks into your place of business and they don't get that vibe, or they think that you don't care about how they feel, they are going to walk out, and statistically shown, for every bad experience, they tell 10 people. For every good one, they tell 1, right, Katie? So how important are those personalized experiences?
So personalization is everything. You've got to remember that people do business with people. They're not doing business with brands necessarily and or businesses. And the woman wants to feel that genuine connection. And the only way you can create that genuine connection is to personalize the experience, is to care enough to ask the right questions and to tailor that experience for her. So making sure that you uncover her needs, wants, desires, fears, and being able to deliver on them. Here's the deal with her: if she smells even for like a second, if she feels disingenuousness, she's going to walk out that door. So you've got to show up. You've got to personalize that experience, and you've got to make it genuine. Okay, so tip number 2 goes really hand in hand with creating a personalized experience, and that's creating a very welcoming and inclusive environment. Now, women crave a hedonic atmosphere, and I mean, hedonic, what's hedonic? Well, it's actually an atmosphere of the senses. So what she sees, smells, feels, hears, it's all inclusive. And so if she can see herself in your business, so if you're creating an inclusive environment, then she's more apt to do business with you. If there's more females there, that is obviously more welcoming. And it goes right down to lighting, and I told you temperature, everything creates this warm and fuzzy feeling. Now, women, their limbic brain is almost double the size of men's, right? And the limbic brain is the emotional and memory hub of our brain. So how she feels matters. It matters far more than how a man feels when he walks into an environment. So if you want her to stay longer than 30 seconds, you need to make sure that that environment is warm, welcoming, and inclusive.
No, and that's so important, and it kind of takes me back, not that they in any way, shape, or form really had the branding right. We know that there were a lot of issues, but if I go back into like the early 90s, when you talk about a hedonic experience, I don't think there was honestly a brand that got the scent and the smells and the sounds and everything better than Abercrombie and Fitch. Just saying.
Amen. Yes.
I mean, I honestly, I know that there was a lot of controversy, and from an inclusivity perspective and some of the things that they did and how they marketed their brand, it wasn't necessarily great. And it probably is not the right, way to sell today.
But everybody who walks by that store or smells that scent knows exactly what they don't even need to look up at the sign.
No, they don't. And, like I said, that's super, super important. If you're trying to create a brand, you're not just creating a brand. You're not just creating logos or fonts or signs or marketing things to sell products. You are creating an experience. And that's exactly what we're talking about tonight. And if there's any brand that knew how to create an experience, they did it. They hit the nail on the head. They knew who their target consumer was. Granted, it didn't include most of the world, because not all of us, are a size 0 and not has, 6-pack abs and the whole nine, but they knew who their target audience was. And like you said, you could walk by that store, you could hear the music, you could smell it 10 miles away, and you knew that you were in proximity to an Abercrombie location. So
for sure,
that's so important. And as we evolve, like we're talking about the female consumer experience, and like Katie said, especially like in a dealership, guys, if a woman walks into your dealership and your coffee station is a disgusting mess, your bathrooms are a mess, one thing that I think is super important, especially as we're coming into this age, and I've said this to dealers ad nauseum, that you should have an area, a private area where a woman can breastfeed.
Yes.
Something that trivial, right? Nobody
a chair within the washroom, something where 100%. She can lock that door and be comfortable. And I mean, this is one of my favorite exercises to do. And I actually challenge every one of you that either is watching tonight or watches the replay. If you have a brick and mortar store where a female can access a bathroom, do this favor for me. Take the men into the bathroom during closed hours and have them, with the women, have them see through a female's eyes. Because I do this when I do workshops with whether it's dealerships or OEM partners or really just anybody who has a brick and mortar store. They finally have this like epiphany moment, and they're like, oh, the stark lighting, the fluorescent lighting, the rough paper towels, the soapy gooey mess that's on the we can't even sit our handbag down, no floor length mirror, the list goes on and on and on. A man wouldn't care about that stuff.
Correct.
But she does. And you are trying to earn her business, because that is who creates that influence for 3 to 4 generations. You need her. You need her to survive. So use this tip as an exercise. And even if you just start there, do a bathroom tour. See what you can do and level up your experience in just that touch point. I promise you, the women that visit you, it won't go unnoticed. They will say something, and that will help their experience and how they feel about you be elevated.
100%. It's little things that, just like Ted said, good morning, good evening, Ted. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that it's morning because apparently this went out on Facebook that we're broadcasting at 2 a.m. tomorrow. So
I will be asleep. I don't know about you.
You roll with it. All right. So tip number 3, guys, and this doesn't necessarily, I don't know, you can't really offer too many different payment options, right? When it comes to those big ticket items, we obviously know you can't put a car on your American Express. At least most dealers would not allow that in this day and age. But our tip number 3 for you tonight, if you want to create the ultimate female consumer experience, especially if you are an online brand, guys, this is so incredibly important. Offer a variety of payment options, right? Female consumers appreciate having that range of payment options to choose from. And I know me personally, when I buy online, because of the World Wide Web and the way that things are, like I try to pay everything with PayPal or some type of a service that gives me that extra security, that extra protection, that if, hey, this person on Facebook that's selling this product that at 2 a.m. I'm scrolling and go, oh, I need that, doesn't send me my product, I can get my money back, right? But make sure that you're including things like credit cards and debit cards, PayPal, mobile payment systems, Venmo, Cash App, whatever it is. The more payment options that you have, the better chances that you are going to get that female consumer's business. And on that point, one thing I do want to tell you, something that's become really, really popular over the course of the last few years are these pay in 4 options. They are huge, right? So your Afterpays, your Klarnas, who's the other one? I can't even think of the other, Sezzle. If you are somebody that's offering larger ticket items and you want to increase your chances, this isn't to say anybody should go broke, right? You want to make sure that you're budgeting. But if you're that female consumer and you're like, wait a minute, I've saved and I want to go out and I want to buy that Louis Vuitton handbag, or I want to buy those pair of red bottoms, these types of services will allow you to do that interest-free. So if you are somebody that has an online presence, especially a retail online presence, I would highly recommend that you look into these. It's a small fee that they take from you, and it widely opens up your consumer base.
Well,
what are your
and it
thoughts on
just
that,
makes
Katie?
it easier, right? So we are so busy, and it's as much it's about creating that experience of ease, right? We are so bombarded with an incredible amount of to-dos. So to even go out and buy something for yourself, to even take that time, which, by the way, women view that shopping journey as like, I mean, it's like falling in love. And so that experience for her, she has the same physiological reactions as she would if she was falling in love. And so the retail therapy that we talk about, or we joke about, or it's, made fun of in rom-coms, it's a real deal. And so she doesn't want to think about how she's purchasing it. She just wants to go through that journey and enjoy every motion and enjoy every interaction. And so making sure that she is able to easily purchase in any means she possibly wants to allows her to do what she wants to do. And that is to enjoy the experience, which brings us to the next tip here. And that's to provide an exceptional customer experience. Here, I gotta drop a truth bomb on everyone, because you can't focus on her if you don't have a brand experience. Do you have a journey through time? Do you have standards your team follows? So making sure that that foundational piece, that experience is there and it's consistent with every customer every time, it has to be there, because if it's not, then you're not going to be able to level up and actually reach her, because you're going to be constantly grasping at low-hanging fruit and trying your best. And I get it. It's not easy to do it consistently, but that foundation of a brand experience standard from start to finish is the key to being able to then take it up a notch and focus on her.
And you know what? Companies like Amazon and Zappos, and they've really taken that market by storm, and they've made it so incredibly easy to have those exceptional customer experiences. They make returns easy, right? If you need something done, it's no questions asked. It's funny, a few years ago, I don't remember what it was that I ordered from I ordered something from Zappos, and they called me right after the fact to not only confirm what I had purchased, but they carried on a conversation with me, asked me what my plans were for the night, and I was getting ready to actually go and have dinner with friends. The Zappos rep on the phone said, "Hey, can I make that a little bit easier for you and confirm your dinner reservation?" I mean, it's these little things that make such a difference to the female consumer. And this includes things like being attentive and responsive, being helpful in addressing their questions or concerns. If they have a problem with your brand, you need to have a process. And like Katie said, every vehicle, or I said every vehicle, but every customer, every customer, every vehicle, every day. That was my thing when I was selling cars. But it's so important that you are addressing those things. And a lot of times I find that brands, they're just not in tune with that. And instead they just push the process off, or they make excuses. Guys, take care of your customer. That's it. Show up. Do what you need to get done. It's easier if it costs you this much money up front than it costs you 10 customers down the road that she is going to tell, or the thousands that she's going to reach on social media, right?
Here it is. This is probably the biggest tip that we've given all night, is that it is without this, you have nothing. And without a customer, you literally have nothing. You don't have a business. You don't have revenue. Your employees, well, you don't have employees, and they definitely don't have a roof over their head. So the customer has to come first, and that voice of the customer, not just an overall customer, but the voice of her. She is the world's economy. So she needs to be given a voice in your business with your team members as you are designing, executing, and consistently delivering a brand experience.
That's so true. And to that point, as we move into tip number 5, guys, let's talk about quality, right? I don't care if you are selling a $1 item. I don't care if you're selling these rubber bracelets that I can buy for $1 a piece, right? If the quality is not there, you are going to lose a consumer. Never, ever, ever, ever overpromise and under deliver. Yeah. And we see this, unfortunately, so much, the whole movement of wish.com, right? But at the end of the day, people are like, oh, I don't want to pay a whole lot of money. But some of those products, and I have to tell you, I'm surprised my husband has bought some, are actually some quality products. We bought things for our house. Quality matters. Talk about that, Katie. How important?
Yeah, so quality, this disappointment or expectations not met, right? So whether you're talking about the intangible experience that you provide or the tangible product that they walk out with, both have to be of high quality and both have to be consistent of high quality. If you do not have that, then as I said earlier in this show, she can go on to Google right now and see 20, 30, 40 other retailers or other businesses that do exactly what you do. So the quality and the experience you provide matters. The quality of the product she walks out with matters. Those are the things that are going to get her talking about your business.
And those are the things that are going to differentiate your brand as well from your competition. Guys, Katie and I just had this conversation, right before we popped on here. And I was talking about, I said, anybody can be a designer, right? Anybody can design content. You've got all these apps at your fingertips these days, and it makes it super simple. Mm-hmm. What makes me different as a brand strategist is the experience that I provide my customers. It's the details. It's the getting to know them. It's about creating them and creating a vision. And that's what you have to think about in terms of anything that you're selling from a product or service standpoint. What is going to separate you from the competition? And if you're a dealership, same deal. Most consumers nowadays in this congested society, especially if you're in like a metropolitan city, you have hundreds of dealers that you can choose from. You all pay the exact same for the vehicles. We all know that really pricing hasn't been a big issue. It's starting to come down, but everybody's selling the cars pretty much the same price. Yes. What is separating your dealership from the competition? It is the experience that you are providing.
Yeah. Period. Hands down. It is your people that deliver the experience and the standards you put forth and hold up. As a leader, if you can't hold your team and yourself accountable to a higher standard, you're going to lose every single time. I mean, my opening story of my book, I went to 7 different dealerships. Every single dealership had exactly what I wanted. 6 of them didn't have an experience. 6 of them treated me like I was a teenager and I didn't have any money. And 6 of them lost my business. 1 of them showed up.
Yeah.
1 of them gave me an experience that I was like, all right, I'm happy to hand over $60,000. Let's do this transaction.
You know,
And so it's just so important.
It is. And I'll never forget in 2008, I was on the desk for a Nissan dealership when we had someone that came in that wanted to buy a GTR. And I kid you not, the guy showed up and like a Yugo or a Pinto. He was horribly dressed, looked like he was just 2 streets off from homeless. And it was funny because none of our salespeople wanted to talk to him. So I literally walked out, I introduced myself. That's where the process comes in, right? And we talk about that in the car business. My motto was every customer, every vehicle, every single day, they got the same experience. It didn't matter what they were buying. And I ultimately ended up, I was the only person that greeted that gentleman and treated him like a human being. Yeah. 2 hours later, the guy, no joke, comes back. He comes back in his brand new Audi R8, paid cash for that GTR. And you should have seen the jaws that were dropping because nobody wanted to talk to him. And when we talk about that too, as we wrap this up here tonight, let's talk too about the effort and the convenience and having quick delivery options, whether you're selling, like I said, whether you're selling a handbag or you're selling a Ferrari. How important is it that you are attentive to your customers' time?
Well, it's your lasting impression. So what you've got your first impression and your last impression, which are the bookends of the experience. You can kind of falter along the way and everybody drops the ball and we're human, but that last impression, that's what sticks. And so whether you're wrapping up, a $1,500 handbag, whether you're wrapping up a $10 handbag, or whether you're wrapping up a sweater, or putting a bow on a brand new vehicle as a gift, or whatever it is that you do, that lasting impression that says, thank you, I care, without you, I wouldn't be here, and makes her feel good is what she leaves with. She needs to feel good about that purchase. What she purchases matters a little less or a lot less than the actual feeling that she's leaving with, because that's what's going to spark her to go and recommend you. That feeling is going to spark her to go and share positive stories, or it's going to spark her to say never again.
You're right on. Profit is the byproduct of building relationships.
Amen. Okay.
Blue in the face. So, all right, guys, go ahead,
Tip
Katie.
7.
Let's talk about tip number 7, and we'll wrap up for this night.
Feedback is so important. So tip number 7 is actually listen. Listen to your customers. I said, somewhere in the middle here is the voice of the customer, the VOC. Every meeting, huddle, conversation that you have as a team, as a leadership team, from your leaders to your team members who are delivering the experience, the customer always has to have a voice. And you have to be gathering that information, and not even just gathering it, but then doing something with it and doing something for it. Your customers, especially her, will give you all the information you need in order to go right back up to tip number 1, deliver a personalized experience that she can't live without. And if you're not able to get the feedback from your customers, from a female standpoint, you've got some women working with you. Ask them, give them a voice, allow them to share and give you feedback on to how you can improve the overall experience. But again, actually do something with it.
That action step is so important. And I encourage dealers all the time. Ask on social media, right? Mm-hmm. Even if you have a completely blind audience, do a poll on your social media for your dealership's page. Ask your female consumer, what's important to you? What would you like to see in our dealership? What would make your experience 5-star? And that's what we're going to lead right off into tonight. I want to give Katie the floor. Number 1, guys, make sure, last chance, like, comment, share this out. We're going to pick one random person to receive a brand new autographed copy of Customer Experience, Katie's new book. Absolutely amazing. But let's talk about the 5-star customer experience and tell people how they can learn more, how they can do business with you, Katie.
Okay, so first, I'm putting the link into the comments for Custom Her Experience, link to Amazon. So if you don't have it yet, go out and get it. Except for that lucky person that's going to get a signed copy, we will reach out to you. Okay, but what I'm really excited about here is I am going to be able to I have developed experiences for some of the largest organizations in the world. Celebrity Cruises is one of them, where I went on board their ships and I actually designed an experience that has warranted them. They're the first cruise line to have a Forbes rating, which is really cool. That just happened this year. And it's off of the experience that I designed and trained. I'm one person. I can't be everywhere. I jumped from ship to ship for 3 years in order to train up that crew of incredible humans. So I've designed an online course, and it is the secret to a 5-star experience. And as I said, it is the foundation for you to be able to create and elevate an experience for her. So I have it as an early bird special. I'm going to put the link in the comments till I think it's March 31st. You're going to have it for $149. And with that, wow. $149. Yep. And you're going to get, it's 15 modules with all of the handouts and everything you need to know. And I've actually thrown in a course on accountability in there as well. So you've got a leadership course in there, as well as the secrets to creating a 5-star experience. And you're going to get a free e-copy of Custom Her Experience. $149.
I mean, are you kidding me right now? If you want to level up your brand, I don't care what you're selling, what business you're in, especially if you are a dealership tonight, I'm talking to you. I am talking to you, every single person in automotive. If you're selling, if you're behind the desk, if you are in the F&I office, if you are a dealer, principal, GM, or owner, you need to get this course. It is going to change the experience. As we just said, profit, byproduct of building relationships. You want to build better relationships with your female consumer base, you need to click that link right now. Go on over. Put your credit card in. It's chump change. It's $149. That price
until March 31st.
Not going to last.
Yes.
I told Katie, I said, let's do this as an early bird special because we have such an amazing follow of automotive people. It's not going to last. I promise you, March 31st, it's going up. It's a $700 value. You're here tonight. You're going to get it for $149 because you follow us. Make sure that you go over, sign up for that course. And by the way, too, Katie, tell them you're out on speaking circuits again now as well. I know you're keynoting women in automotive.
It's literally a dream come true. I am going to be keynoting at Women in Automotive. I've got some awesome and exciting things coming up. And so, yeah, I will be out there. So if you have a copy of my book or you don't have one yet, I'll be selling them, but I will sign them when I see you. So please don't forget them when you come out to these conferences.
I absolutely love it. And I know Katie is so passionate about what she does. She is available to come in and train your dealership, your people specifically on the consumer experience. It's not going to be $149 and you're going to pay for travel expenses, but it's absolutely worth it. Guys, we so appreciate you being here tonight. This is the very first episode of the SHEconomy Show. Katie is going to be doing this every single week with a different guest. You don't have to be a female, right, to be on this show,
no.
Katie. I know
oh my gosh, no.
All different
I want us to all work together, and it really is about banding together to empower each other and to create success for everyone.
That's it. We rise together. And I bleed that. I will continue to bleed that. Guys, Katie's show is going to be every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific, not 2 a.m. as was on this promo. No. That's all right, though. It happens. So, guys, make sure that you come back here, tune in every single week. And if you're interested in being a guest on Katie's show, or if you're interested in bringing her into your dealership or any of your businesses to train on this 5-star experience, Katie, how can they get in touch with you?
For sure. You can DM me or Katie@katiemaras.com. Super simple. First name at first and last name. email me, and I am available. I'm available to take, just to help even. I really want to inspire positive, actionable change in this world, and I'm obsessed with helping women have more opportunities than they had before we chatted. So I really want to make sure that if you do have questions, don't hesitate. Reach out. I will answer you. I will not ignore you. So please reach out, katie@katiemaris.com, or DM me on any of the social platforms.
And you are going to be seeing lots of Katie Mares in the days to come. I'm so proud to be partnered with her. She is just a beautiful, wonderful human being. And I hope all of you get to know Katie like I have gotten to know her over the course of the last 5 years. Guys, go out. Get your copy of Customer Experience. You need your copy. It's an amazing book. Click the link, get your butt over to that link. 5-star experience. It's $149, guys. It's less than you probably spend on a pair of shoes, and it's going to change your life. It's going to change your business. It's going to change your brand, and it's going to make you more money. So click that link. Make sure you guys get on that early bird special. Katie, always a pleasure. You're just such a beautiful, wonderful human being.
I'm just so grateful you were on with me today. So thank you for working through all the kinks of this first time show. And I promise y'all it will be it'll continue to get better.
Hey, so onward and upward. That's what we do. So guys, make sure that you check out those links. And again, if you're interested in being featured on the show, make sure that you reach out to Katie, katie@katiemaris.com. We'll get you guys signed up and set up. And with that, we thank you guys so much. As always, go out, make your day tomorrow and someone else's ridiculously amazing. We rise together. Katie, I absolutely love you. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see where you're going to go next.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you for everything. And all right, everyone, have an amazing evening. And for everyone that came on, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ciao.
Bye, guys.
Bye.